Hello everyone, this is Bigalski.
And this is JTB.
And this is the second part of my Ninja Gaiden Black series. This is my quest for 50 million. The first one was just kind of going through without farming. This part of it's going to be farming. Back in the day, I was at like 49.8 million and got my saves corrupted. And I said, I've never tried for 50 million again. But since it got re-released for the Xbox One, here I am. And Descent into Madness, I think, is what Siberian called it.
Yeah. And also, I think it's interesting to think about, like, back then, you think, yeah, I'm never doing that again. But I suppose now, like, the game, there's more knowledge around the game, so in a way, it's not quite as bad as it was, back then.
So what I did is I took the averages of these players up here, Edge, Platinum, Trent Steele, Sned, Joe Hayabusa, and Scrapmo, because their scores were right around 50 million. So I just try to get an average like this. This is Path of the Master Ninja 1. My average for this is 684, 839. And as long as I beat my average, I'm okay. That really is very helpful to kind of get an idea of what you need to be at. And then also, these videos, similar to JTB's Ninja Gaiden Sigma Mission Mode videos, I'm going to take the first video that I make the average of. Now, on this mission right here, as soon as you can, turn around, because if not, that mage will, shoot his fireballs at you. But having said that, whatever the average is, if I make it, that's what I'm keeping. So,
yeah,
I think this could obviously be better, but I made the average. So, again, just time to move on. And also, I was just got through playing Ninja Gaiden, and I wasn't able to rotate the camera, so I kind of didn't keep that in mind when I first started playing this. So it's a little it's a little bad.
Yeah, this mission, like, it's one of the most annoying things on this mission is the ninjas, like, when you're trying to charge up your UT, when they let you charge, but then they roll right to where it's going to hit two of them, and you're like, oh no. That was just what I needed, but then they move out of the way. Like that there, kind of. Like, he didn't quite do it, but he almost did it there.
Well, one of the things that JTB and I talked about was being able to drop a smoke bomb and jump in another direction. And I just I'm older than probably most players, but I'm also set in my ways. And I don't do that, so I'm not able to fully take advantage of the opportunities, to get more UTs. So that hurts my score. I really need to practice it. And maybe
a tutorial is needed for that. I don't know.
Yeah, well,
that would be
by you.
Yeah, it would be an interesting one to do, because it's something that when we get to Path of the Master Ninja 4 and MD5, and funnily enough, actually, there's quite a lot more missions like this in Sigma. Like the kind of where you get a lot of man-sized enemies, and the difference in those missions between a decent score and a great score, it really is being able to do that multi-directional movement. As when you drop the smoke bomb, the enemies will, react to the smoke bomb. Then if Ryu is sort of in the same area in a linear path, like, they kind of see him straight away. Whereas if the smoke bomb is in, a certain place, and then Ryu is completely completely in another direction, they kind of have to, like, realign with Ryu, and that's generally what buys you that extra, like, 1/10 of a second to be able to charge that UT.
That was a little unlucky there that my UT missed and hit you with the... But, here's something else, too. Being able to do that consistently, like you said. See, I ran out of smoke bombs early. Because I don't have the ability to do that, which, as you can see, cost me some points. I mean, I don't want to use that essence to, or that blue essence to charge anything, because I only want to kill or damage this guy. Well, see, I forgot.
Yeah.
See, I forgot to switch over to my chucks.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought you were going for the the launch trick that was found. Was it early this year? Last year? I can't remember when.
What's the launch
that.
trick?
Well, in my Path of the Master Ninja video, I think we talked about it. Like, you know, if you can kill an enemy with a launching UT, where you can still forward Y them after it.
Right. Right.
You don't have the windmill shuriken here, from what I recall, or you might have it. Yeah, no, I think you do have it, don't you? So you can launch them with the Warhammer, because the Warhammer still has that kind of knockback animation. So you can get your 2 ETs with your nunchucks, and then you can do a Warhammer UT, which will kill the mage. But then, if you do it in open space, you can then forward Y windmill shuriken with the Kitetsu and get another ET, like, out of the mage. And that's kind of what pushed this score, like, past the 800k mark, is because that gets you an extra 2,000 out of every single mage, and I believe there's 6 mages, or 7? I can't remember exactly but like, right here, you'd have been able to do it on him, because he was still, you know, in a launchable state. So, you know, if you can get like 12,000 more ET points, again, on Master Ninja, you times that by 2.5, that's a pretty substantial increase on the mission score.
Well, a couple things here. Whenever I went to fight the first mage, you know, I missed him like 3 times because I was releasing my ET a little bit early. You actually want him to kind of turn around to you and then... you know, release, so you can hit him. Also, you can only do 2. And then I think I messed that up too.
Here's a fun fact for people if you want to get crazy. Sometimes they can survive 3.
Oh.
Which is like...
Well, that's for the high guys.
Yeah. I mean, it's annoying. Like, I've mentioned it a lot over like the time of the game. Like, the inconsistent like health and damage of the enemies, I think, is like is the only real like huge knock against this game. Because if you think about it, if you could consistently get 4 ETs and a UT out of every single mage, like, the score for this mission would go through the roof.
For the people who could do it.
Yeah, like, you can't always get it, you know?
Well, one thing too, whenever you go to ET them, you know, I made the mistake of ETing them into a wall. And you don't want to do that. Because, you know, them hitting the wall from an ET is going to do some extra damage. So just be careful of that. Now, see, because I don't have my smoke bombs, you know, I'm going to rely on the other little trick. But I think being able to, so you can pretty much get 2 ETs, UT on the mages, and then just kind of focus from there and hope you have some smoke bombs for these guys. But this trick works, the incendiary trick works as well. So.
Yeah, the red ninjas have quite a bit of health too, so you don't need to worry about it.
And also, so, you know, as bad as that was, or from what it could have been, with all the mistakes that I made, I still beat my average. So I was really happy with that. So what I decided to do here at the end is showed what my old score was, what my farm score was, what the average was, and then just kind of do a running total. So, you know, I'm 55,000 points ahead of my non-farm score. I'm 15,000 ahead of my average, and that average is the 50 million average. The non-farmed, the reason I put that in there is if people don't want to go for 50, you can still see how getting some extra UTs and ETs in there will increase your score by quite a bit.
It does, especially... Sorry, go on.
No, well, I was just going to say, and then I'll have the running total, you know, here at the end, and then from, you know, every mission from now on, there'll be a running total, you know, for each mission. But go ahead and say what you were going to say.
I was going to say, with regards to the UTs as well, you really have to keep in mind over the course of mission mode. You know, when you're playing for max score, you are going to be playing on Master Ninja because of the multiplier, and we always talk about it in story mode, and it's amplified to the nth degree in mission mode, because let's say you miss 10,000 points in-game UTs over the course of 46 missions. That's 460,000 points. But it's actually 2.5 times more than that because of the multiplier. So, you know, losing it, that's why we talk about it in some of these videos, like where missing a UT in story mode isn't that big of a deal. Missing 1 UT in mission mode can cost you, like, you know, 5 to 6 times what that 5,000 points is worth.
Right. And so I did something a little special here at the end of Phase 5, and we'll get that. It kind of goes to what we're saying right now, but this is the first video of the quest. So far, I'm 15,000 closer in terms of
hey man, every little helps.
Average. But that's it for phase 1, guys. Hope y'all enjoyed it, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care.
Take care, everyone.